It is time once again to talk about Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, because SNK has actually delivered what they promised and we are getting officially a second open beta. So we're going to be checking all the details, and it seems like now there is no excuses to not trying this game out, okay? If you're not happy with the current state of other modern fighting games like SF6, Tekken 8 or whatever other game you try to enjoy and play, give Fatal Fury a try, okay? This game is incredible, and now we're actually getting some of the features that everybody wanted that we didn't get in the first beta, and even more stuff. So let's actually get into it. So the first thing, probably the most relevant, is that this second open beta is going to have training mode, okay? The training mode controversy surrounding the first beta was huge because SNK basically didn't put a training mode on the first beta, thinking that the game would get cracked and stuff like that. And the game got cracked anyway. So now it seems like SNK actually thought about it well and just gave us training mode, which I think is the best, decision. At the end of the day, games are gonna get cracked if they're on PC. It doesn't matter if it doesn't have training mode or not. Like, people are gonna find ways to crack the game. So now we can train with any character, and that's going to basically give people a more broad experience and basically more options to try the game out and not be forced to play people online, since maybe you don't want to do that and you want to try the characters on training mode, see what you like, try the system mechanics and all of that. And because we're going to have a training mode, it's going to be a lot more easy to play any character, you don't need to play Rock because he has the tutorial mode and you can lab on that. You can play anyone if you like it, like someone looks, their special moves, whatever. You can training mode with them, see how they play and have fun, and then maybe hop into some online matches. The second big thing is that we're actually going to have another new character to try, and we can play T-Sock in this second open beta. I'm super excited for that because the grapplers tend to be very fun on SNK games, and in that sense, T-Sock is probably going to be a blast to play. So if you like grapplers, or maybe you just like T-Sock, how he looks, how he plays, you can use training mode to learn how he plays and then play with some people online or with some friends, because it also seems like we're getting an offline versus mode. So this open beta is going to be much better, okay? It's going to be much, feature rich. We're going to have training mode, offline versus, it seems like, and also, the typical online experience that we had earlier. Now, of course, this beta has the same purpose than the older one did. The main goal for the second beta is to see how the netcode and the matchmaking works. So in that sense, if the matchmaking and the netcode doesn't work a little better, it's going to be awful, okay? It's going to be a very bad situation for SNK because it's going to lead into a lot of controversy. A lot of people are going to say that the game is trash because maybe the matchmaking or the netcode doesn't work on a perfect level. So in that sense, I do recommend you to try the second beta out so you can build your own opinion, okay? Don't get blind by what people say online. Try the game out and see what happens to you, because it seems like the experience with the matchmaking and the netcode is very diverse, okay? After the first beta ended, a lot of people had a ton of trouble to find matches. Other people didn't have any in any of the days of the beta. Also, some people had amazing netcode, other ones had some trouble. So I do recommend everybody to just play the game out and try it out so you can have your own opinion and experience, and don't depend on what influencers, or any other YouTubers say to you about what you should think about this game. If you have been enjoying the video until now, please consider giving the video a like, subscribing, and leave a comment. What do you think is going to be the state of the second open beta for Fatal Fury City of the Wolves? And let's keep going with the video. But it seems like we're going to have a great experience with the beta. If the matchmaking and the netcode are a little better, we have a new character, we have training mode, we have versus offline, because what says on the website looks like it is versus offline. The beta is gonna be a blast. It's almost like buying a full game in some sense. We just have less characters and we don't have a single player experience, but we have a lot, and taking into account that it is just a beta. So in that sense, as I said earlier, try the game out for yourself, see if you like the gameplay, see how the netcode and the matchmaking works for you, so you can have your own experience and build your own opinion around the game. And if you enjoy it, you can maybe buy it, it depends on what you feel, how you think the game is. And in that sense, I want to also discuss something related to all of this. And that debate or topic that I want to talk about is basically what's going to happen with the future of this game if this second beta still has matchmaking and netcode problems. As we can all sort of, guess, most fighting games, when they have these open betas and stuff like that, when you can try them out earlier, when the release date is close to the date of the beta, the games tend to be the same, in the date of the experience that you have in the beta and the one on full release. So if during this beta test we still have matchmaking problems and netcode problems, the chances of the game having those same issues at launch are very high. Still, we don't know if that is exactly what is going to happen, but the experience that we have during the second beta, it's probably going to be, you know, a very good sort of first impression about what the game is going to be at launch. So in that sense, if the game still has matchmaking problems, it still has some netcode issues, sadly maybe that is also going to be the case at launch. In my personal opinion, to me, I don't really care about it that much. I know that fighting games need to have all of these things, you know, resolved in a spot and time like this, but I love SNK games, so I can kind of deal with, you know, how maybe bad, quote unquote, those features can be, but hopefully they are better. That's what I'm expecting. And if SNK is actually doing a second open beta so fast, because it hasn't been that, you know, that much time since the last one, they are probably very confident that they actually fix all of this, because if they put the second beta out and everything is the same, people are gonna riot. Everyone is gonna get mad as hell. So hopefully SNK knows what they're doing, and if everything gets fixed, I think that this game may have a very successful launch, because there is actually a ton of people that are interested in the gameplay of the game, the gameplay loop that it has, and all the other things that are related to how the game plays and looks, etc. So let's just pray that SNK knows what they're doing and we can have a great experience at this second open beta. Still, if you're trying the game out and you love the gameplay, but maybe, you know, the basic online features are not the best, only a little better, I would still maybe think of buying the game, because I actually believe that SNK is gonna fix it on the long run. Now, if you don't want to have, you know, a product as a consumer that is not perfect, don't buy it. And I would advise that to anyone that wants, you know, their money worth at the max level, you know, at the maximum sort of efficiency. Don't buy the game at launch if this second open beta still has problems, because the chances of those problems being present at full launch are very high. So wait until the game comes out fully, you know, see what happens in the case that the second open beta still has problems, and maybe buy it, you know, a month after the full launch, depending on what people say on their reviews and stuff, and when they tell you about their experience, and just see what happens along the way. But I really want this game to be a huge success, because the gameplay is incredible, and I want SNK to be at the top again so they can still develop great fighting games. We just have to wait and see what happens. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like, subscribing, and leave a comment. What do you think is going to happen with Fatal Fury? And see you on the next video.